y is equal to f of x and y is equal to g of x from a to b is the integral of their difference. So actually we have two functions f of x and g of x. Both functions are continuous. We will have a interval. We will have an interval. So we will put the value. We will take the values from the interval and we shall put in the functions, and we will check. We will compare which which function has greater values. Which functions has greater values. We will put uh, the values. We will take the values from the interval and put in the functions, and we will check which function has greater values. Which function has greater values. Okay. So if suppose if f of x has greater values, then the area will be f of x minus g of x. But if g of x has greater value, then we have to integrate g of x minus f of x. Okay, so this is the rule. It means if f and g uh, in f and g, which function has greater values, we will put this as in the first minus the second. Okay, and both functions are continuous, and area is we have to integrate from a to b f of x minus g of x dx. So here I give the example of this. So here we have to find the area of the region enclosed by the parabola. We have to find the area of the region enclosed by the parabola. What is the this parabola? Y is equal to 2 minus x square. Y is equal to 2 minus x square, and the line y is equal to minus x. So first of all, if we see, we have two functions here. We have two functions. Y is equal to 2 minus x square and y is equal to minus x. Y is equal to 2 minus x square and y is equal to minus x. Okay. So if we have these two function, we have these two functions, y is equal to 2 minus x square and y is equal to minus x. So for this case, first we observe what is this parabola. It means here if we have y is equal to x square, it is upward. It is upward. If y is equal to minus x square, it is downward. And if y is equal to x square, its turning point is origin. It means from origin, it on the one side it is increasing, on the other side it is also increasing. And if we have y is equal to minus x square, uh, it is downward. It is downward, and it is downward. So downward, and the turning point is, and its turning point is again, its turning point is again uh, 0 0. Its turning point is again 0 0. But if we have y is equal to 2 minus x square, y is equal to, so then we move 2 points on the y axis. So if you can see here, its turning point is the following. Here this point. So one of the function is this parabola, and the second function is a line. Y is equal to minus x. So if we have y is equal to x, it pass through the origin, and from the first pass through the origin on the first axis. It means passes through the origin, first quadrant and the third quadrant. Okay, the line which passes through the origin in the first quadrant and the in the third quadrant. If we take y is equal to minus x, it is also a line. It is also a line which pass through the origin, but also passes in the fourth quadrant and the second quadrant. You can see this this line is y is equal to minus x. This the line uh, here yellow label, it is y is equal to minus x square. Y is equal to minus x. So if we have these two functions, so here we do not have the interval. So how can we find the interval? It means from where to where, from where to where. So for this case, we equate these two functions. We put both functions are equal. We put both functions are equal. It means 2 minus x square is equal to minus x. 2 minus x square is equal to minus x. 2 minus x square, it is equal to minus x. So that is why 2 minus x square is equal to minus x. So if we have 2 minus x square is equal to minus x, we shift this 2 minus x square on this side. 2 minus x square, whenever we shift on this side, so it will becomes 2 will becomes negative and x square will becomes positive. That is why it is x square minus x minus 2 is equal to 0. Here we get the following. It means x square minus x minus 2 is equal to 0. X square minus x minus 2 is equal to 0. For this case, for this case, now we use the factorization method. Now we use the factorization. How can we make the factorization of this? We put here x square minus 2x, but we have here x. That is why we add x also in it. So minus 2 it is equal to 0. Minus 2 it is equal to 0. So that is why here whenever I take x from common from here and 1 from here, so it will be equal to the following pair. It means x plus 1 x minus 2 it is equal to 0. X plus 1 x minus 2 it is equal to 0. So this shows that x is equal to minus 1, x is equal to plus 2, x is equal to minus 1, x is equal to plus 2. So we have now the following interval. It means from minus 1 to 2. From, it means the close interval from minus 1 to 2. The close interval from minus 1 to 2. So it means a is equal to minus 1, b is equal to 2. A is equal to minus 1, b is equal to 2. We have the following. A is equal to minus 1, b is equal to 2. Now on this point, it means on this interval from minus 1 to 2, we find out the values of the function and we make the table between the values of these. Here I make the table. So here it is equal to 2 minus x square. I put this is equal to 2 minus x square, and here I put minus x, minus x. So this is the value of the x. So if we put minus 1, so minus 1 square it is 1, so we get here 1, and we also get here 1. If we put 0, so this is equal to 2, this is equal to 0. So from here we observe that 2 minus x square has greater values. 2 minus x square has greater value, but in the definition it is given we have to find the area throughout the interval, throughout the interval. For this case we put here 1. For this case we put here 1. Whenever we put here 1, so it will becomes 1, but this will becomes minus 1. Also we put here the 2, we put here 2, so that is why it will becomes minus 2, and also this will be also minus 2. So throughout this interval we conclude that 2 minus x square either it has equal values to the minus x. Either this function has equal values to minus x, or this function has greater values, or this function has greater values. So 2 minus x square, 2 minus x square, 2 minus x square. This function has greater than and equal to the values of minus x. This function 2 minus x square, this function has equal or greater values than minus x, or this function has greater or equal to the values of minus x over the interval minus 1 to 2, over the interval minus 1 to 2. So that is why here you can see, we whenever we find the area, thus the total area is given in this way. Here f of x, that is why we take f of x as equal to 2 minus x square, 2 minus x square. And what is g of x? G of x, it is equal to minus x. F of x is equal to 2 minus x square. G of x is equal to minus x. G of x is equal to minus x. So that is why we have here 2 minus x square. We now simplify this, minus cross minus, it will becomes positive, minus cross minus, it will becomes positive. So we will get here 2 plus x minus x square, 2 plus x minus x square. Now what is antiderivative of 2? Antiderivative of 2, it is equal to 2x, not x, it is equal to 2x. You can see here, antiderivative of 2, it is equal to, what is antiderivative of x? What is antiderivative of x? X square divided by 2. X square divided by 2. Yes. X square, not 2x, it is x square divided by 2. Yes. So we can. And what is antiderivative of x power 3? Antiderivative of x power 3. Antiderivative of x power, sorry, yes, x power 4 over. Now here we have x square. What is antiderivative of x square? X terbiya. What is antiderivative? X power 3 over 3. So here this, so first we put upper limit, then we will put lower limit. So here whenever we put upper limit, so 2 and 2 2, it will becomes 4. 2 zero 2, it will becomes 4, plus 2 square, it is equal to 4 divided by 2, 4 divided by 2, minus 2 power 3, it is equal to 8. So 8 divided by 3, 8 divided by 3, minus, we have now minus 1, minus 1 zero 2 minus 2, plus we have minus 1 square, it is equal to 1, it is equal to 1. Okay, so first we put upper limit, then we put lower limit. First we put upper limit, then we put lower limit. So 2 and 2 2, it is equal to 4, plus now we have 2 square, 2 square, it is equal to 4. So that is why 4 divided by 2, minus 2 power 3, it is equal to 8 divided by 3, minus, now we have 2 zero minus 1, it is equal to minus 2, plus now minus 1 square, it is equal to 1. So that is why 1 divided by 2, minus, here minus 1 power 3, it is equal to minus 1. So that is why minus 1 zero minus 1, so 1 by 3. So whenever we simplify this, we get 9 divided by 2. I again repeat, here two functions which are One is parabola 2 minus x square. The second function is minus x. This is the line. We have to find the area between the curves of these, between the curves of these, between the curves of these. So that is why we have 2 minus x square and y is equal to minus x. We first of all we equate these two functions. We equate these two functions and we get the points. It means the values of x. So, and these values show that the following interval from -1 to 2. It means a is equal to -1, b is equal to 2. A is equal to -1, b is equal to 2. So we have the following interval. At this interval, we find the values of the function. At this interval, we find the values of the interval 2 minus x square and minus x. 2 minus x square and minus x. So whenever we put these values, we observe that 2 minus x square, 2 minus x square 2 minus x square, it is this function is dominant comparatively to minus x, comparatively to minus x. So it means f of x is equal to 2 minus x square and g of x is equal to minus x. G of x is equal to minus x. So that is why we put here 2 minus x square and minus x. So whenever we put here uh, 2 minus x square minus x, so minus minus it will becomes positive. So 2 plus x minus x square, uh, integration from -1 to 2. Now antiderivative of 2, it is equal to x, so that is by 2x. Antiderivative of x, it is equal to x square divided by 2. Antiderivative of x square, x power 3 divided by 3, x power 3 divided by 3. So now what it will becomes, first we put upper limit, so 2 into 2 it is equal to 4, 2 into 2 it is equal to 4. 2 square 4 divided by 2, 2 power 3 8 divided by 3. So minus, we put lower limit, so -1 zarab 2 -2, -1 square it is 1, and -1 power 3 -1 and minus minus plus, so we get here 9 divided by 2. And also in the next question we also have to find the area, but it is different from the previous. Here you can see, find the area of the region in the first quadrant. Okay, in the first quadrant, if you see, in the first quadrant all x and y all are positive. So it means the minimum value of the x and y is 0. The minimum value of the x and y will be 0. So find the area of the region in the first quadrant that is bounded above by the function y is equal to x. Y is equal to square root x. Y is equal to square root x. And bounded below by the x-axis. And the line y is equal to x minus 2. Y is equal to x minus 2. So here here we have three things. One is y is equal to square root x. This is basically parabola. This is basically parabola, and it is on the right side. It means it's open on the right side. Y is equal to x square root. It is a parabola which open on the right side. After that, we have x-axis and the line y is equal to x minus 2. This x minus 2, if you see, this yellow line shows x minus 2. This yellow line shows x minus 2. So for this case, now we equate first of all two functions. One is y is equal to x minus 2. Second is y is equal to square root x. So we equate these two. So here you can see x square root x is equal to x minus 2. Square root x is equal to x minus 2. So square root x, it is equal to x minus 2. So we have here x is equal to, we take square on both sides. We take square on both sides. So x minus 2 whole square. What is x minus 2 whole square? This is equal to x power 2 minus 4x plus 4. X square minus 4x plus 4. Okay, this one. So for this case, when we open this, okay, so this will be uh, x square minus 4x plus 1. After that we shift this x on this side. Here it is positive. Whenever we shift on the other side, it will becomes negative. It will becomes negative. So that is why whenever we shift on this side, it will becomes negative. So x square minus x plus 1 minus x. So that is why we get here x square minus 5x plus minus 5x plus 4 minus 5x plus 4. Now we factorize this. How can we factorize this? On the left side I write here like that. It means we put here x square. Here we have minus 5x. Here we have minus 5x. So we write here minus 4x minus x plus 4. It is equal to 0. It is equal to 0. So x square minus 4x minus x plus 4 is equal to 0. So from here, if we take x as a common, we get x minus 4. X minus 4, and we take minus 1 from the second two terms common. So this will be again x minus 4. It is equal to 0. So again we take x minus 4 as a common. Whenever we take x minus 4 as a common, we get here x minus 1 and x minus 4. So it is equal to 0. So either x minus 4 is equal to 0 or x minus 1 is equal to 0. Either x minus 4 is equal to 0 or either x minus 4 is equal to 0 or x minus 1 is equal to 0. If x minus 4, if x minus 4 is equal to 0, we get x is equal to 4. If x is equal to x minus 1 is equal to 0, we get x is equal to 1. Either x is equal to 4 or x is equal to 1. So from this case, from this we can see now we have the maximum point here, it is equal to 4. So minimum point, we know that it is the first quadrant. In the first quadrant the minimum is here. In the first quadrant the value of x is 0. So our interval will becomes the following: here 0 to 1, here 0 to 1. Okay, so we can solve it by the two different way. Here by the additivity property, here you can see it means from 0 to 2 and 2 to 4 we can use this. Okay, and also we can use the direct. So we use here additivity property. It means from 0 to 2, what is f of x minus g of x? It is equal to square root x minus 0. Square root x minus 0. So square root x, it is equal to square root x. And what is now between 2 to 4, f of x minus g of x, square root x minus, here square root x minus 2, this. So whenever we simplify this minus, it will becomes positive. So square root x minus x plus 2. So we have now these two. It means we will integrate from 0 to 2 plus we will integrate from 2 to 4. So they, it means usually we are taking the additivity property of the interval. What is additivity property? What is additivity property of the definite interval? We have studied the integral from a to c, the integral from a to c, f of x dx equal to integral from a to b, integral from a to b, f of x dx plus integral from b to c, integral from b to c, f of x dx. This thing, integral from a to b, f of x dx plus integral from b to c. This is the additivity property. So it means if we have to find the definite integral from 0 to 4, we convert it into 2. Okay, so here you can see on the top, total area is equal to, total area is equal to here the definite integral from 0 to 2 and the definite integral from 2 to 4. So from 0 to 2, what is f of x minus g of x? It is equal to square root of x. It is equal to square root of x. And from 2 to 4, what is f of x minus g of x? It is equal to square root x minus x plus 2, minus x plus 2. Now what is antiderivative of square root x? What is antiderivative? First, what is the value of the square root? What is the value of the square root? It is equal to, what is the value of the jazar? 1 by 2. What is the value of the jazar? 1 by 2. So if we have x power 1 by 2, x power 1 by 2, what is antiderivative of x power 1 by 2? What is antiderivative of x power 1 by 2? We increase 1 in the, yes, x power 3 by 2 divided by 3 by 2. Yes, so that is why this which is given in the division 3 by 2, it will becomes 2 by 3. Here you can see, so 2 by 3 x power 3 by 2. From lower limit is 0, upper limit is 2. So from 0 to 2. Similar to this, it means the definite integral of x power 3 by x power 1 by 2, x power 3 by 2 divided by 3 by 2, which will becomes 2 by 3. What is antiderivative of x? What is antiderivative of x? It is equal to x square divided by 2. Yes, what is antiderivative of 2? What is antiderivative of 2? It is equal to 2x. Yes, it is equal to 2x. So from 0 to, from 2 to 4. Okay, now we put upper limit. So 2 and 2, it means whenever we put here 2 here and 0 here, so 0, whenever we put 0, so it will make everything 0. And also here first we put upper limit, then we put lower limit. So here if we see this expression, it means 2 divided by 3, 2 power 3 by 2, and this minus 2 by 3, 2 power 3 by 2, both are same but opposite sign. Both are same but opposite sign. One is positive, one is negative. So that is why we can delete these. It means we can cancel this with this. Here we have minus 8, here we have plus 8. We can cancel this. What is the remaining? Here 2 by 3, 4 power 3 by 2. What is 4 power 3 by 2? It is equal to 8. 4 power 3 by 2, it is equal to 8. Now here we have minus 2 plus 4. It is equal to minus 2. So 2 by 3 of 8 minus 2, it is equal to 10 by 3. It is equal to, how can we get 10 by 3? Because we take least common multiple. So here 16 divided by 3, minus 2, it is equal to 16 minus 6 divided by 3. 16 minus 6, it is equal to 10 by 3. So basically what we are doing here, we have two function f of x, g of x. We equate these two function, we find the values of the x. It means we are finding the interval. On this interval we find the values of both function f of x and g of x. We find on this interval we find the values of f of x and g of x, and which function has greater value we put that function, which function has less value we put in the second. It means f of x greater function, g of x less function, so f of x minus g of x, and then we can integrate this. Doctor, yes, here actually last step, it means you are asking this is 16, you are asking about this. Sultan, are you asking about this? Yes. So here we have 2 zarab 8, 16, 16 divided by 3, minus we have 2. So least common multiple here, if we see divided by 1. So 3 zarab 1, it is equal to 3. So least common multiple is 3. So this is 16. Now 1 divides 3, it is equal to 3. So 3 is up 2, it is equal to 6. So that is why we get 10 divided by 3. We get 10 divided by 3. Okay. So we get 10 divided by 3. You got my point? Hello. 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 Can you hear me? Hello. Okay, I was asking you, here we have 16 divided by 3 minus, here we have 2, so it is least common multiple is equal to 3, and this is 16 minus 6, it is equal to 10. It is equal to 10 divided by 3. Okay, so we get the following. We get the can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Okay, is this okay now? Okay, so this is the method. It means we will have two function f of x and g of x. We will have two function f of x and g of x. So both functions are continuous. Which function has greater value we will put f of x, minus which function has less value we will put this as g of x. So this is the method basically, and we have to integrate from lower limit to upper limit. Now we have integration with respect to y. Here, if we integrate, it means if we have to find the area. If we find area with respect to x-axis, with respect to y, both will be equal. It means here, if in the previous question, if we find the area with respect to y, it will be again 10 by 3. Here you can see we have the following example. Find the area of the region in the example, it means the previous. with respect to the y. Now what is given in the previous? Here you can see we have the following. We have here y is equal to x and y is equal to x minus 2. Y is equal to square root x, and now here we find the value of the x. We shift this 2 on the other side. Whenever we shift, we get x is equal to, we get x is equal to y plus 2. We get x is equal to y plus 2. So whenever we shift y on the other side, 2 on the other side, we get x is equal to y plus 2. Y plus 2. So one of them is this function. One of the following. It will be one is this. The second is, from here we can find the value of the x. How can we find the value of x? By taking square. Whenever we take square, so this will becomes y square, it is equal to x. So x, one x is y square, and one x is y plus 2. We have these two functions. One is y square is equal to x, and the second is x is equal to y plus 2. Y plus 2. Now, whenever we have to find with respect to y, we have to equate these. We have to equate these. Here you can see we have these two functions. Here y plus 2 equal to y square. Y plus 2 is equal to y plus 2 is equal to y square. Y plus 2 is equal to y square. So we shift this y plus 2 on this side. Y plus 2 on this side. So whenever we shift on this side, so what we get? We get here y square minus y minus 2 is equal to 0. We get the following: y square minus y minus 2 is equal to 0. So this is quadratic equation. This is quadratic equation. We can solve it by the factorization method. We know that factor, if we have quadratic equation, we can solve it by three different methods. One is factorization, the second is completing square, and the third one is by the factorization formula. So here, how can we solve this? We have here y square minus 2y, y square minus 2y plus y minus 2, it is equal to 0. Minus 2, it is equal to 0. So y square minus 2y plus y minus 2, it is equal to 0. Minus 2, it is equal to 0. So for this case, we take y as a common. Whenever we take y as a common, so it will become, we will get the following: Sorry, brothers. Here, I received a call from the professor. So she was asking about uh, course specification. So that is why. So okay, very sorry. So we start from here. I was asking we have y square minus 2y plus y minus 2. Okay, we have this case. So if we have the following, we can take y as a common, y as a common from here. If we take y as a common, so this will becomes y minus 2. We get here y minus 2. This is equal to 0. This is equal to 0. So here, if I take y minus 2 again common, so we shall get the following pair. Here we can get the following pair. It means y plus 1 and 2y minus 2. Y plus 1 and 2y plus 2. Y plus 1 and 2y minus 2, which is equal to 0. So we get here y is equal to minus 1, y is equal to this. Okay, we get the following. It means two values of y. One is y is equal to minus 1, the second is y is equal to 2. So we have this interval, but minus 1 to 2, minus 1 to 2. So but we have to find the area in the first quadrant. We have to find the area in the first quadrant. So in the first quadrant, y and x both will be positive, both will be positive, or minimum value of these will be 0. So as we are dealing with we are taking with respect to y, so minimum value of the y will be 0. The minimum value of the y will be 0. So that is why our interval, because minus 1 does not lie in the first quadrant, so minimum we have to find from 0 to 2. We have to integrate from 0 to 2. We have to find integration from 0 to 2. We have to find integration from 0 to 2. Okay, you got my point. So we have now the following. It means here we have these two function here. Now we make the table and we check which function is f of x, which function is g of x. Now here I make the table. So here we have uh, 2 plus y. Here we have the table 2 plus y, and here we have y square, 2 plus y and y square. 2 plus y is equal to y square. So for this case, if I put the values of y between 0 to 2, between 0 to 2, what we get here? Whenever we put the values from 0 to 2, we get the following. It means here if I put 0, so we shall get here 2. If I put here 0, we get here 0, because 0 square is equal to 0. If I put 1, so this will become 3, this will becomes 1. And if we put 2, this will becomes 4, but this will becomes also 4. So this table show that this table shows that this table shows that uh, 2 plus y, this table shows that 2 plus y is f of x, because 2 plus y has greater values. 2 plus y has greater value compared to y square. So that is why we take f of x is equal to 2 plus y and g of y is equal to y square. F of y is equal to 2 plus y and g of y is equal to 2 and g of y is equal to y square. You can see here the area of the region is, we denoted by A. So A is equal to C to D. What is C? Here c is equal to 0, d is equal to 2, or you can say it is a to b, no problem. Okay, you can put here a and b, no problem. Why it is given c and d? Because in the previous question we are using a and b, so and we are doing the same, it means with respect to y, so that is why different notation we are using here. So c is equal to 0 and d is equal to 2. Now what is f of x minus g of x? We have the following, it means y plus 2 minus y square. Now we simplify this, because here y, then constant, then y square, so we must have a specific way. It means we can write first constant, then y, then its power. Otherwise we can write y square plus y minus y square plus y plus 2. It means either we can write in descending order, or we can write in ascending order. Okay, so no problem, but between constant it is awkward thing. It means y plus 2 minus y square, so we have to write in a specific way. So we have 2 plus y minus y square. What is antiderivative of 2 with respect to y? What is antiderivative of 2 with respect to y? Yes, 2y. What is antiderivative of y with respect to y? Antiderivative of y with respect to y. Y square divided by 2. Yes. What is antiderivative of y square? What is antiderivative of y square? Y power 3 divided by 3. Y to raise power 3 divided by 3. So here you can see we have the following antiderivatives. We have the following. So first we put upper limit, then we put lower limit. So as the lower limit is 0, so it will make the things, all the things 0. So whenever we put upper limit, so 2 and 2, 2 into y, it is equal to 4. 2 into sorry, 2 into 2, it is equal to 4. Now 2 square, it is equal to 4. Now 2 power 3, it is equal to 8. So that is why we get here 2 plus 2, here 2 plus 4, 4 plus 2, I write here 4 plus 2 minus 8 divided by 3. So this is equal to 10 divided by, because this will be equal to 6 and 6. So 6 minus 8 divided by 3. Whenever we take least common multiple, this is equal to 18 minus 8 divided by 3. So 18 minus 8 divided by 3, which is equal to 10 divided by 3, which is equal to 10 divided by 3. Okay, so 18 minus 8 divided by 3, 10 divided by 3, 10 divided by 3. So we conclude from here, from the previous question and from here, if we have two function, if we find the area with respect to x or find the area with respect to y, both areas will be equal. Both areas will be equal. Either we are taking with respect to x, either we are finding with respect to y. Okay, so the next is, now we move to the exercise. Here in exercise, so first we have to evaluate the integral by using the substitution method, by using the substitution rule. And in syllabus we have to solve question number 11. We have to solve question number 11. So what it is, we have to evaluate the definite integral from 0 to 1 t square root of 4 plus 5t dt. Okay, so we have to substitute, it means we have to convert the given function into a new variable. So what substitution we will use? Here I solve this question. So first of all, let u is equal to, here I write u is equal to 4 plus 5t. We use this substitution, 4 plus 5t, 4 plus 5t. Now here we need this. No, this will becomes, it means in the square root this will becomes u power 1 by 2, no problem. Now we have also t, t is also involved. So from here we get the value of the t. How can we get the value of the t? How can we find the value of the t? We can shift 4 on the other side, then divide both sides by 5. So from here it means u minus 4, we are shifting 4 on the this side, divided by 5, divided by 5. This is equal to t, this is equal to, so u minus 4, u minus 4 divided by 5, it is equal to t. It means 4 plus 5, it is equal to u, and t is equal to u minus 4 divided by 5. Now we find the value of the dt. How can we find the value of the dt? By taking derivative of u with respect to t. So what is the derivative of u with respect to t? Yes, what is derivative of u? Du over dt is equal to what? Ishtiqaq of u with respect to t. Yes, derivative of u with respect to t. Derivative of 4, it is constant. What is the derivative of the constant? It is 0. Derivative of the constant is 0. What is derivative of 5t? It is equal to 5. It is equal to 5. So from here, what we get? We get here du equal to 5 dt. Du is equal to 5 dt. Du is equal to 5 dt. Now we divide both sides by 5. Now we divide both sides by 5. So 1 by 5 du equal to dt. 1 by 5 du equal to dt. So here, now the value of dt we find out. The value of t we find out. The value of 4 plus 5t we find out, it is equal to u. Now which things are remaining? We need two things, upper limit and lower limit. It means g of upper limit and lower limit. So what is lower limit? So it is equal to g of lower limit, g of 0, g of 0. So here this is equal to g, it means u is equal to g of t, it is equal to 4 plus 5t. So whenever we put here, we get this is equal to 4. We get this is equal to 4. And also we have to find g of 1, because here in the given we have 1 as a upper limit. So 4 plus 5, it will becomes 9. Now all the informations are given, all the informations to solve, to convert the integral into a new integral given. So here now our given integral will be converted into a new integral in this way. It means this lower limit will becomes 4, upper limit will becomes 9. What is the value of the t? It is equal to u minus 4, u minus 4 divided by 5, u minus 4 divided by 5. What is the value of 4 plus 5 t? It is equal to u power 1 by u power 1 by 2. What is the value of dt? Is equal to 1 by 5, 1 by 5 du, 1 by 5 du, 1 by 5 du. Now here, if we see what is the constant, what is the constant? Here, in the first expression, we have 1 by 5 is constant. In the last, we have 1 by 5 is constant. So 1 by 5 cross 1 by 5, so it will become 1 by 25. So constant always go outside. So that is why we put 1 by 25 outside. 1 by 25 outside. So here we have 4, here we have 9. Okay. So what is now remaining? U zarab, u zarab u power 1 by 2. It will become u power 3 by 2. U power 3 by 2 minus we have 4 u power 1 by 2 du. Now what is antiderivative of u power 3 by 2? Student, what is antiderivative of u power 3 by 2? We increase 1 in the power, divide the whole power. We increase 1 in the power, divide the whole power. So what is power here? What is the power of u? 3 by 2. So 3 by 2 plus 1, how much? Student, can you hear me? Student, can you hear me? Yes. So I asked, yes, 5 divided by 2. Yes, Abdullah. 5 divided. So it will become, here I write 1 divided by 25. Yes. So u power, yes, 5 divided by 2. So u power 5 divided by 2. This will be equal to 2 divided by 5. 2 divided by 5. So u power 5 divided by 2 divided by 2 divided by 5. 2 divided by 5 minus we have here what is here? Here we have 4. Now what is antiderivative of u power 1 by 2? Yes. Yes, 3 power. Yes. And which is given in this, it means this will becomes u power 3 by 2. Here we get here this is 8 divided by 3. 8 divided by 3. So we get here 4 divided by 9. 4 divided by 9. Because 4s are up to, it is equal to 8. Now we will put upper limit. So then we will put lower limit. Okay. So you can put upper limit and you can put lower limit and get the solution. After that you can simplify it. Okay. It is your task. We move to the next question. Yeah. After that we have to solve question number 17. Here question number 17. What it is? We have to evaluate the definite integral from 0 to pi by 6. From 0 to pi by 6. What is the function? We have function cosine power minus 3 2 theta sine 2 theta. Cosine power minus 3 2 theta sine 2 theta. Sine 2 theta. How can we solve? I here first of all we put u is equal to cosine 2 theta. U is equal to cosine 2 theta. U is equal to cosine 2 theta. Then if u is equal to cosine 2 theta, then what will be its derivative? Yes, minus 2 sine 2 theta. Yes. So here we find out du over d theta, du over d theta. It is equal to minus 2 sine theta sine 2 theta. So here, if we have to find sine 2 theta d theta, so from here we get the following. It means minus 1 divided by 2, minus 1 divided by 2 du equal to sine, here sine square 2 theta, sorry, not square, it is sine 2 theta, sine 2 theta d theta, not square here no square. Okay, so it means sine 2 theta d theta, it is equal to minus 1 over 2 du, minus 1 over 2 du, minus 1 over 2 du. Okay, so we have minus 1 over 2 du, this thing is given. So from here if we find out, yes, so now sine 2 theta d theta it is given minus 1 over 2 du, and cosine 2 theta it is given u. Now we find the lower limit and upper limit. Now we find out the lower limit and upper limit. What is lower limit? It means here we have g of 0. It means what is g theta? G theta is equal to cosine 2 theta. So g of 0 we get, it means cosine 0. So what is the value of the cosine 0? Yes, student. What is cosine at 0? Cosine 0 is equal to 1. Yes, it is equal to 1. Now we find the upper limit. What it is? G of pi by 6. G of pi by 6. G of pi by 6. It is equal to G of pi by 6. It is equal to what it is equal to cosine here. So 2 here pi by 6. So pi by 6 it will becomes here. Yes, it this will be cancelled. Yes, it will becomes 1 by 2. Why? Because cosine pi by 3. Cosine pi by 3 it is equal to 1 by 2. It is equal to 1 by 2. Yes, you are correct, Abdullah, Badr. So here now upper limit is given, lower limit is given. It means here u is equal to cosine 2 theta is equal to u, and sine 2 theta d theta, all the informations are given. Now we make the new integral. It means now we discuss the converted integral. So it will become the following. It means here we have minus 1 over 2, it will go outside. Minus 1 over 2, it is a constant, it will go outside. So 1 here, 1 by 2, 1 and 1 by 2. This is upper limit and lower limit. Now we have u power minus 3. What is du? Here we have after that this. So what is now antiderivative of u power minus 3? Yes, Raed al Mizal. What is antiderivative of u power minus 3? What is antiderivative of u power minus 3? U power, yes, it is correct, Badr. Minus 2, yes, Raj, you are correct also. So this will be equal to the following. It means minus 1 over 2 u power minus 2. So this is minus 2. Now here we have 1, here we have 1 by 2. So here minus 1 over 2 and minus 2. So this will becomes positive. This will becomes positive. So 1 by 4, and this is u power minus 2. Whenever we shift from numerator to denominator, its value will becomes positive or negative. It will be same or it will be changed. Student, here we have u power, not bother. Here we have u power minus 2. Whenever I shift from numerator, from bast to maqam, so its power will be changed. So this will be equal to 1 divided by u square. It means positive, it will becomes positive. So 1, and here 1 by 2. 1, 1 by 2. Now if we put upper limit, what is upper limit? 1 by 4, 1 by 2. So here 1 by 4, it is a constant, it is outside. So 1 divided by 1 by 4. This because 1 by 2 square, it is equal to 1 by 4. Minus, we get here 1 divided by 1. So here we get 1 by 4, 1 by 4. Here 4 divided 4 minus 1. So 4 minus 1, how much? Yes, 4 minus 1, 3. So that is why we get here 3 divided by 4. This is the final answer. This is the final answer. So by the substitution method, we convert the given integral into a new integral. Okay. Also, student, today send me the email address such that I can send you the solution manual of 5.4. The exercise I can send you. One student should send me his email address. I shall send him uh, the solution manual of 5.4, and he can share with all the colleagues. He can share with all the colleagues. Okay, Ahmed Salim, I am sending to you. You share with all the colleagues. Okay, and also we move to the next question. Okay, I am sending you. I am sending you. Just 1 minute. Yes, Ahmed Salim. Did you get this? Ahmed Salim, did you get this? Okay. Okay, you will send maybe after 1 minute. Okay, so after that we move to the next question. I sent you 5.4. Okay, it come. Okay, please share it with all the students, with all your colleagues. Okay, after that we have question number 21. We have question number 21. What it is, if you see, we have the definite integral from 0 to 1, 4y minus y square plus 4y power 3 plus 1 power minus 2 divided by 3. Minus 2 divided by 3. And here we have 12y square minus y minus plus this. So if we take, now here we have, what is the derivative of 4y power 3? What is derivative of 4y power 3? 4y power 3. Here I write derivative of this 12y square. You can see this first here both have positive. It means derivative of this is this. Okay. It means derivative of 4y square, 4y power 3 at 12y square. What is derivative of minus 2 minus y square? Sorry, what is derivative of y square? I again repeat, derivative of, yes, it is equal to minus 2. It is equal to minus. So derivative of 4y power 3, it is equal to 2y square. It is given. Derivative of here minus y square. So minus will go on this side. So we will get here this. It means minus 2y. It is given here. What is the derivative of 4y? What is the derivative of 4y with respect to y? It is equal to 4. It is also given. You can see here. Both are positive. It means here, if we substitute from here to here, and what is derivative of 1? It is equal to 0. If we add, if we write or not write, no problem. So here we substitute this is equal to u. We substitute this is equal to u. So u power minus 2 divided by 3. U power minus 2 divided by 3. U power minus 2 divided by 3. So what is the derivative of u with respect to y? So it is given. So this integral, now here, other than here, just lower and upper limit will be remaining. So this integral will be minus 2 divided by 3 du. Minus 2 divided by 3 du. So this is equal to u power minus 2 divided by 3 du. Now what is lower limit? So here whenever I put lower limit 0, so it will becomes 1. What is upper limit? 4 minus 1 3 plus 4 7 plus 1 8. So we have the following. We have the following. Now what is antiderivative of u power minus 2 by 3? This is equal to u power 1 by 3 divided by 1 by 3, which will become 3. You got my point, student? Did you understand? Here, this question 21. So it is equal to u power 1 by 3 divided by 1 by 3 divided by 1 by 3. Okay. So this 1 by 3 which is given in the denominator. So it will becomes 3. Okay. So we get here 3 u power 1 by 3, u power 1 by 3, upper limit is 8 and lower limit is 1. So what is 8 power? 8 power 1 by 3. So I simplify this and the solution is 3 here. Here this will becomes 2, this will becomes 1. So the final answer is 3. The final answer is 3. Yes. So this is our today class. If you have any question, please ask your question. Please ask your question. If you have any question, please ask your question. Yes, student. Do you have any question? Student, can you hear me? Do you have any question? Okay, okay, then thank you so much. Thank you so much. Shukran. See you in the next class. Thank you so much.